The war in the Middle East exploding in a way that the world has feared from last fall. Iran launching tonight weapons aimed for the first time ever right towards Israel. The skies filling with missiles and hundreds of drones. Tel Aviv to Jerusalem and across the Jewish state, hundreds of thousands forced to take cover as the sound of sirens and explosions continue through the night and into the morning.
As the sun starts to rise in the Middle East, so many questions remain unanswered. How will Israel counter? Will the U.S. respond? And is there any hope to prevent this war from widening, putting more countries at odds? Good evening. At 11 o'clock, I'm Pedro Rivera.
And I'm Bill Ritter. A night of war, a night of anxiety of where it might end. Is this what many have feared? Yes, since Hamas invaded Israel in a bloody terrorist attack more than 6 months ago.
Our Josh Einiger is live in Jerusalem. But before we get to you, Josh, we want to tell our viewers and show them right here what it was like for you earlier tonight when those sirens went off and you had to run from your room.
No question, the fear of war, Josh, to be sure. But also tell us about the latest happenings for tonight.
Well, Bill and Pedro, good evening, good morning, I should say, here in Israel. Dawn is now breaking after a truly sleepless night across the state of Israel. In the past hour, the IDF told people who are living in the north who had been told to stay close to their safe rooms that it is now safe for them to stray from that area. Iran itself told the UN that this attack is over. And now Israel must ponder its next step. The sky lit up over the Holy Land tonight. Unmanned Iranian drones streaked over the old city of Jerusalem, exploding in the sky as Israel's missile defense system picked them off one by one. They were some of more than 200 drones fired by Iran in an unprecedented attack on Israel.
Iran has launched a direct attack from Iranian soil towards the state of Israel. This is a severe and dangerous escalation. Our defensive and offensive capabilities are at the highest level of readiness.
And by the end of the assault, Israel had managed to fend off most of them. There was one civilian injury and damage to an Israeli military base in the nation's south. Iran's supreme leader said of Israel, the evil regime must be punished for its airstrike on Iran's consulate in Syria, which killed several military officials. And officials say tonight's response appeared to be targeting Israeli military assets. Meanwhile, in Washington, President Biden returned early from his weekend in Delaware and huddled with his national security team. The U.S. military, which was already increasing its footprint in the region, confirms it shot down some of the drones in the coordinated response to Iran's aggression.
The U.S. has made it clear that they will do whatever they can to help Israel in this attack, but Iran has also said that if the U.S. helped Israel in this attack, that U.S. troops in the region would become fair game. And so the world has gotten very dangerous tonight, not only for Israel, but for the U.S. as well.
When those drones crossed over the old city and we heard the sirens, our team of 3 retreated to a safe space in the basement of a stairwell not far from where we are right now. And when we returned, we heard more explosions and turned around and looked at the old city to see fireworks rising from the area of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, an apparent celebration by sympathizers of Iran after that country's unprecedented attack tonight. We are live in Jerusalem this morning. Josh Einiger, Channel 7, Eyewitness News. Bill, Pedro?
Josh, we're happy to hear you're okay, first and foremost. What was it like for you being there and seeing the Iron Dome, seeing Israel's well-known air defense system in action?
It was really quite breathtaking, actually, to see. You see the drones, these unmanned drones crossing over this area. It's not clear where they were headed. And then we just sort of saw almost like it almost looked like a jellyfish. It sort of exploded. And then we saw more and more of it. And it's really, it gives you, a degree of confidence that the system works. And it really did work. Almost all of these drones, these projectiles, were actually knocked down by either Israeli systems or the Americans who also assisted in this tonight. There were some that did hit the ground in a military installation, and there was some damage, but no deaths and only one minor injury that we're aware of at this point.
Just really
so
remarkable.
It really did. It gives you some confidence, but it was a pretty unsettling night.
Right. It could have been a lot worse, to be sure. Let me ask you one question, because Iran said at the beginning of all this that they were, getting hundreds of drones, but also putting out ballistic missiles firing at Israel, and that apparently did not happen.
There's a lot of misinformation in these things, Bill, when they start and as they move forward. So yeah, no, it does appear that there were slightly more than 200 unmanned UAVs or drones. It's a little bit unclear what else Iran had or has up its sleeve, but at least for now, things appear to be calm.
Okay. Josh, thank you for your reporting tonight, throughout the night. You were busy, very, very busy, and I'm glad you're all right, to be sure.
Yeah, we're going to be getting our first images, we can imagine, from the ground as we see the sun rising behind you.
And we're going to hear from Josh throughout the show for the next hours.
Absolutely.